In this video, I want to show you the process of creating this drawing using fine liners and explore the question, how do we know when a piece is truly finished? Hi, I'm Leah, I'm a visual artist, and the Matera Project is my new series of drawings and paintings inspired by one of the oldest cities in the world, Matera, in Italy. In this video, I'll share a bit of my studio practice and what I've been working on this week. I visited Matera briefly last year and was fascinated by its intricate architecture. It immediately took me back to my childhood when I first discovered the works of M.C. Escher. He often depicted cities like this in his works, and I used to have his posters at home. Matera also carries a sense of fantasy or mystery that I truly enjoy, as if we are walking through the pages of a storybook. I wanted to create a detailed artwork with ink on paper, so I selected the smoothest options I had in my studio. Of course, you can work with any paper you like, but if you don't want the texture interfering with the ink flow, you should go for Bristol paper or something similar. Bristol is a high-quality paper known for its smooth surface, commonly used when we want clean, precise finish. I selected 3, but I was really choosing between 2, Lana Bristol and Hahnemühle Nostalgie, the same paper I use in the sketchbook you often see in my videos. I love Lana Bristol, but for the Matera project, I thought the subtle color of the Nostalgie paper would be a better fit. This warm, light yellow, what they call natural white, matches the stone walls of Matera beautifully. I also looked through my spare papers folder to see if I had any other options. I have a great collection. In the end, I decided to go with Nostalgie. For the size, I choose A4, not too big, but big enough for the details I wanted. I printed some of my photos to use them as reference during the project. This view is the one I'll be using today. I knew some of my pens were starting to dry out, so I wanted to test them to decide which ones needed to be tagged. Usually, when a pen starts to dry, I mark it with tape and keep using it, often for a long time. Dry pens are great for creating special effects, you don't need to throw them away. Most of my pens were fine, only 2 had to be marked with tape. Before sketching, I drew the margins using these template rulers with preset sizes. I just pick the one I want and avoid having to measure the paper. I used a Caldas graph wood pencil in HB. I made the first sketch while observing the photo without worrying too much about perspective. Matera is so intricate, with buildings facing every direction, that a few inaccuracies wouldn't really compromise the feel. Even without a ruler, I had a perspective point I kept in mind, guiding my hand and imagining lines radiating from it. While sketching, sometimes I'll change the position of something to improve the image composition. In this case, I moved the cathedral tower a bit to the side so we can see it better with more space around it. The drawing was so detailed that the printed photo I had wasn't enough. I couldn't see all the elements clearly. So I kept going back to the digital photo on my computer since my phone was being used as camera for filming. This made the sketching phase a bit slower than expected because I had to keep looking back at the screen to zoom in on parts of the photo. I'm even considering getting a tablet just for reference photos now that I'm making these videos and my phone is occupied with filming. I love this part, drawing with ink. And I'm still making decisions as I go. I'm not just following the sketch. I use different nib sizes, but mostly 0.05 and 0.03. I also use the node 0.03 that's a bit dry. If I apply very little pressure, almost no ink comes out, creating a line even thinner than a new 0.03 pen. I love the line drawing just as it is. For me, the piece could have been finished just with those, but I knew I wanted to shade it. For the stones and plants in the landscape, I drew different textures to represent different plant species. At one point you have to ask yourself, how much texture and contrast is enough? Even though I like how it looks, to me, it's not finished yet. I want to keep working on it, adding more contrast and volume. Finishing a piece is sometimes very intuitive. For me, it's when I feel like I don't need to add anything else, when I know that if I do, I might ruin it, which has definitely happened before. And this is one of the key differences between working with traditional materials and working digitally. In digital, you can create multiple versions at any time. With traditional media, some decisions can't be undone, and I think that's actually good for us as artists. It helps us understand what it is we really want to communicate instead of exploring every possible option. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll finish the drawing in the next one. Don't miss it because I might surprise you. If you like this video, I invite you to follow along. Subscribe for weekly updates on the project's progress and more.